let's move to UFC 264, and we got to talk about the trilogy, man. And this one, I am on Dustin Poirier in this one, and I'm unwavering on that. But if you ask me, am I as confident as I was last time in the rematch back in January? No, I'm not. I'm not as confident as last time. I feel like this is a zigzag, right? The old zigzag. You see that in series in NBA.
Where do we sit on odds right now on it, Al?
It's a pick'em now. It's a full-on pick'em. Poirier's best odds plus 102, and McGregor best odds minus 107. So it's straight up pick'em. So there's been some pretty steady line movement. Poirier's been steamed pretty heavily from plus 130 down to he was actually a favorite at one point, and then some buyback came on him. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like this is it's that zigzag theory, right? Like I feel like now there was no pressure on McGregor. Basically, in a sense, there was no pressure on him just because he was coming back. He hadn't fought in so long. He kind of had a built-in excuse. And now I feel like all the pressure's on Poirier to finish he's gotten even now, but if he's really the better fighter, he's got to finish this trilogy with a win. And I don't know, because if Conor loses this fight, this is very damaging to his legacy. This is if he loses this fight, we're talking, we're that much closer to seeing him in some type of trans sport event with Manny Pacquiao or somebody like that,
totally.
like a boxing exhibition or something, right?
Totally.
And because of that, I feel like you put a guy with that much skill up against the wall. I feel like he's got a lot to prove, basically. And Poirier said, money can buy you a lot of things, but it can't buy you heart, right? And now it's he said, but now I have that, and that's fine. But now you also have a lot of money, So, and it's the thing where the reason that I was so against Conor in the rematch in January was because I was just like, it doesn't matter. He's coming off his yacht. He's not going to be the same fighter that we think he is, right? And now it's flipped where it's just Poirier. I just see very similar to how I broke down Figueiredo Moreno, where I feel like Poirier wins this fight. But if at some point Conor gets to plus money, you got to start to look at it, because I don't know. I don't think as washed as we've seen him, and he didn't really look that bad in the first fight. He had good moments. He was pretty much up on the scorecards until he lost, I think. Or maybe he wasn't up. He lost the first round, but he was winning the second round up until the point that he just lost, right? But he didn't look terrible. He was really heavy on that lead foot, which I think he has to change against Poirier. If Poirier is going to go back to that calf kick game, which I think he will, and he'll also go to a even probably more wrestle heavy game, or go for the takedowns and stuff like that. But as washed as the last time we saw him laying on the ground like that, I feel like you can't count him out. He's a high level striker, and you put him in a corner, and he's in a corner. He wasn't in a corner the last fight, but now he's in a corner, and I'm going to bet Poirier, but if you're able to get McGregor at plus money, if this ends up getting to McGregor at plus money with the money coming in on Poirier. It's hard to turn down, man. It's hard to turn down. What do you think?
Oh man, Al, this is a fight that literally I just started like turning the wheels, like, you know, getting the gears going, really kind of like refocusing in on this fight, right? And I got to be honest, man. You know, I really didn't have any thoughts about it. Like, I didn't really have any leans coming out of the second fight, you know, the last time they fought. Obviously, you know, we took things away from that fight. We learned things. I think Dustin Poirier probably wins this fight the third time. I really do. I think that, you know, Conor McGregor, he's just not that guy anymore. You know, this is a different version. This isn't a guy that has unfathomable in and out movement. The guy that could get in, land a death shot, and get out of range. You know, the guy that, you know, watched Jose Aldo come forward, leapt in, and caught him with the shot that, you know, Aldo had already you know what I mean? Like, Aldo had already begun the motion, and Conor saw it and literally was so quick he could get inside and land the touch of death before Aldo's shot could even, you know, finish. Before he could even finish throwing a punch. And I just don't see it anymore, man. I think Conor's lost a step. He doesn't have that quick twitch. He doesn't have that speed. He doesn't have that movement. And that's what made Conor McGregor special, was the movement, the in and out, and the speed, the reaction. And, you know, he's not an old guy, right? But the difference between a guy in his mid to early 20s who's hungry, wants it, looking to build a legacy, looking to become a millionaire, billionaire, and now he's there. This is a guy who's done it. He's at the top when it comes to, you know, not the sport anymore. He's obviously not the champ, and I don't think there's anyone out there who's saying, you know, Conor McGregor's the best thing in the UFC right now, unless you're the most delusional of fanboys, right? But I just think that we're not getting that peak Conor McGregor anymore. And I think when you take away some of those things that made him so special, he becomes a far more average guy. And Dustin Poirier is, I'm not going to say he's an average guy. You know, obviously he's very athletic. Obviously he was born to do this. Obviously he was born to fight. But there's nothing overly special about Dustin Poirier. The thing about Dustin Poirier is his determination, his heart, his work ethic, and his ability to craft and become an elite fighter with the you know, the God-given abilities he has. And I think, you know, Conor McGregor's at that point, and I just think Dustin Poirier, when you take everything into account, is probably just a slightly better fighter as it stands right now. I bet the fight plays out closer. Conor will make adjustments, but I still feel like this is Dustin Poirier's fight to lose now at this point. The ball's kind of in his court, and like I said, I think this might come down to who wants it more, and I still feel like Poirier is the guy in a come-up situation, and McGregor, there's only one direction, and it's down. And from a financial standpoint, he's never going to be down. You know, I mean, the guy can live off proper 12 money indefinitely. He doesn't need to fight anymore, which is another angle. You know, like maybe Conor really does want it. You know, why is he still doing this and attempting to do it at the highest level when he does have all this money and all this success? And I guess it's because he still wants it. He must still love it. He's got the passion, but man, as it stands right now, Al, I lean ever so slightly Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, like it just depends on how he comes out. If he comes out with that, you know, really rudimentary boxing stance where he's heavy on the front foot and just, you know, looking for counters, leaning on that front foot, he's going to be toast. But if he comes in with that, you know, that nimble, that fluid McGregor that, you know, that we saw even against Cowboy, right? He had that look against Cowboy with that light on his feet, back and forth. You know, it almost seems like he fights down to his opponent's level. because we saw he kind of got caught in that type of situation against Nate in their first fight, where he only fights to the ability that he thinks that he has to beat his opponent. And I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, I totally agree with you. But if anybody is going to pull a rabbit out of their hat, I think it's Conor. I think that Conor, it's tough to completely count him out. And with that being said, I got Poirier already at plus money, and but yeah, I have to say, it'll be interesting to see where the line goes, because if this ends up getting to the point where Conor's at plus money, I just feel like I don't know. It's hard to weigh, because then you say, is that good value on Poirier, who should be probably more favored than he is at the current price. But I don't know. It's tough. This is one where I'm gonna have to rewatch that rematch 100 times, basically.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you one bit, man. Yeah, it's it's for all the marbles. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very important fight, and you're absolutely right, Al. I think this is going to really set the tone, and the trajectory of the future of Conor McGregor is based on how this fight plays out. Not so much Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is going to be around. He win, lose, or draw. Dustin Poirier's got a future in the UFC, fighting the highest level guys for years to come. You know, Conor McGregor, you're right, man. Considering the growth and the money we're seeing on these guys, just absolute circus fights, why wouldn't Conor McGregor? I mean, the guy is literally poised. He could become the king of this angle. You know what I mean? Could get to pick and choose, instead of guys under UFC contract, any bum in the world to just get in there and box. You know what? I don't know, man. But Al, I think you're dead on that. This is a very important fight for the future of Conor. I feel that totally.